Deepak Jasani to chat about what's happening in the markets. He's joining us from HDFC Securities. Deepak, hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming on board. First up, I'd like to understand, how does one read into a market like this? There's a complete lack of any positive triggers right now. We're in the middle of the earnings season, but despite strong earnings, the reaction to those good earnings has not been too significant. While there may not be too many negative triggers as well, but positive triggers are definitely missing.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, you are right in a sense that there is a total disregard in the market, or disinterest as it were, among the participants to sort of look at stocks or try and bottom fish or try and trade in them for small profits. But at the same time, volumes are quite large. As you are aware, last 2 days we had about 35,000 crores of volumes cash market on the NSE. So high volumes plus disinterest is slightly of a dichotomy. Result season has been mixed again. There have been some companies who have come with results which have matched expectations, and on the other hand, some companies have disappointed. Now, IT, FMCG, media, some select banks and metal companies have come out with good numbers, but the rest of the pack, I think, have sort of disappointed the markets. So in that sense, there is no positive trigger. The budget is also an interim budget, so of course some people are hoping for some major changes, but mostly people don't see any major changes coming out of the budget. So net, and there has been repeated disappointment out of the small and mid cap space. So all this put together, I think the retail investors or the traders are keeping sort of away from the markets mostly.
Hi Deepak, good afternoon. This is Nantara from the New Delhi studio. I'll just stay with the theme of 1st of February vote on account. However, Arun Jaitley, while recuperating in New York City and before the portfolio change, and he has prepared the budget. The entire budget cannot be prepared in 1 week by Piyush Goyal. Had indicated that national interest will be paramount, and then went on to talk about the challenges in rural economy and farmers. So having said that, all the stocks with a rural focus, whether it's tractors or rural infrastructure, etc., do you see a case for re-rating at all? Whether it's going to be announced on 1st of February on the floor of Parliament during the budget speech, or maybe even by the Prime Minister himself as a, to leverage it politically ahead of the general elections?
Yeah, the stocks which could benefit out of rural spend, I think they can see some sort of an upward movement a couple of days ahead of the budget and maybe on the day of the budget. But I don't think that upmove will last much longer, because as it is, the whole FMCG pack is sort of valued quite highly even currently, not seen much of a correction so far, and one is skeptical as to how much, what kind of announcements that the current finance minister will be able to make, having regard to the fact that it is just a vote of account. They can go on and make a vision statement in terms of what they intend to do with the rural economy or with employment generation and such like, but in terms of specifics, I think we'll have to wait for the main budget to come.
So while we await more cues, the budget outcome, what will be the announcements made, and of course the earnings are coming through in the meantime, what is it that's making you bet on the BFSI space? Now, of course, there has been a reversal or an improvement in the asset quality for several banks, but overall within this big basket, which are the packs or subsectors that you prefer?
Yeah, among the banks, I think we'll have to take it separately. The private sector banks, the large private sector banks, I think are fairly valued. And apart from a little bit of trade here and there, I don't think they will attract much of investment interest at these levels. The smaller, the older sector, private sector banks, the PSU banks, there is some value. Basically, the people have been hoping or have been expecting the banking sector to see and NIMs squeeze, NPS rise, and costs going up, but I think they have withstood all this negative expectations so far. Slippages have come under control. NPAs have not yet been written back because of the IBC delay, but soon that will happen, hopefully in the next quarter. So all set together, they are valued quite attractively, and probably that is one sector which is giving visibility, because in a growing economy like us, the finance sector will keep seeing visibility of credit growth and expansion in NIMs and such like. So that is where we think we can take a bet, of course a short term or a investment bet on those stocks.
Okay, Deepak, always a pleasure chatting with you. Thanks so much for joining us here on Markets at Lunch with your views on where markets are headed and the sectors that one needs to watch out for.